Can we start with the salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, as usual, journaling the Qur'an. You should have a few tools with you. You know the color directory. I keep on saying we'll go over it one day. There's the Quran City map, the gates, you know the network, you know walzam qalbi hifdha kitabika kama allamtani. I mean, now I can see you saying it with me, which is absolutely awesome. Right, let's go over some of the key focuses. If I said Sura Taahaa, summary of the Quran, Baqarah, and it's got to be quick now. History of, because 114, can you imagine? We'll take the whole lesson. History of faith. Okay. Al Imran, Muslim identity. Nisa, the manifestation is through respect of women. Okay. Maida, perfection of religion. An'am, practical tawheed. And if you think of animals, they made up their own rules about eating them. Okay. A'raf, come on, quickly. You've got to hurry up and do this. Rejecting divine guidance. Okay, Anfal, attributes of believers. Tawbah, hypocrisy, exposed. Okay, Yunus, it's never to... Oh, God, we got it. Hud? Oh, come on, Hud you got to know. Basics of Iman and lessons of past prophets. Right. Yusuf? Trust. Yeah, trusting. Trust is fine. Ra'ad, any idea? Change yourself, and contentment only comes from Allah. Ibrahim, those are du'as of Ibrahim. Okay, Hijr, 15. Quran and the Prophet does not require anybody else's validation. Nahal, do you remember? Life has a purpose. Okay, 17. Quranic version of the 10 commandments. It's just got to come, it's got to roll off your tongue. Kahf, the tests, you know the 5 stories, right? Okay, and last week we did Maryam. Okay, so what did we do? What was Maryam all about? Again, trust in Allah, but the birth of Prophet Isa. Now I started off Taahaa a little bit. First of all, I told you that any surah that begins with Ta, this is Huruf al-Muqatti'at, has the snake of Musa. Taahaa and Yasin are names of the Prophet. 29 surahs begin with Huruf al-Muqatti'at, okay? So now we look at the first section. Taahaa is the name of the Prophet. But he says, Ma anzalna. We did not send it down. Now there are 2 words in Arabic that you got to remember. Ilayka and alayka. Ilayka is a gift. Alayka is the responsibility. So we didn't send down this responsibility of the Quran on you. Litashqa. Shaqwa is exhaustion. Exhaustion, overwhelmed, extreme work. So this Quran was not put as a responsibility on you to make you tired. It's talking to Prophet Musa. It's talking to me and you as well. It's talking to the Prophet as well. It's basically talking to Prophet, the Prophet to whom the Quran is revealed, but it's talking to you and me. It should not tire you. It should energize you, okay? And then I've just highlighted the 8th ayah, which is Allahu la ilaha illa hu, lahul asma'ul husna. Now you got to know these asma'ul husna. There's only 99 of them. Okay, I know Jashan Kabir has a lot of them. And one day maybe we'll spend the whole evening just doing asma'ul husna. But it's really important we know them. So as we go along the Quran, what I suggest you do is highlight the Asma'ul Husna in a different color, whatever color you want, okay? Now we come to this. وَحَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ Musa. I told you, Taahaa is all about Prophet Musa. Now, I don't know whether, I know you don't watch too much TV. I do sometimes, okay? Now, TV shows have seasons. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. Now, Prophet Musa we've already seen in Baqarah, we've seen a little bit in Ma'idah, we've seen a little bit in Araf, we saw bits and pieces. But the main seasons of Prophet Musa is Taahaa, then you will find a little bit about, or you'll find quite a lot about him in Qasas, right, in 28, and you'll find in 26, which is Shu'ara. But we'll come. How are you? So we'll find these 3 seasons in there of Prophet Musa. I'd like to tell you the story of Prophet Musa before we go into here, But that will mean a while. And maybe I will tell you afterwards. But let's see. Today, this week or next week, we will do the whole story. So that you have in your mind a chronological order of how things happened. When the cow... I don't know whether I told you don't watch as much television as I do. But sometimes you find that seasons in television go back and forth. Sometimes it shows you the birth, and then it shows you the end, and then it shows you the birth again. It's exactly what the Qur'an does. So anyway, let's go over this. وَهَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ Musa. Has not come to you the hadith of Musa. Now, just a little bit that I want to tell you about what hadith is. News is naba. Hadith, when you say a hadith, it's something that's not a story, but it's something you haven't heard before. Okay, it's different. Okay. Now this is talking about the time when he saw fire. Now you can imagine, cold, winter, you don't see fire during the daytime, you know that? So this immediately tell you it's nighttime. He sees a flicker of fire. فَقَالَ لِأَهْلِهِ He tells his people, إِمْكُثُوا Makatha is to wait and don't move. So wait here. Inni anastu naran, I see fire, which indicates to you that they didn't see it. He's the one who saw it. Inni anastu naran li'alli atikum minha biqabasin, maybe I will bring from it a little bit of fire. Aw ajidu ala nari huda, or there might be people sitting around this fire and I might get some guidance, which tells you he was lost. So with his family in the dark, he can see a mountain, he can see a flicker of light. They can't, he did. And so you got to use your imagination and see how difficult it was, okay? فَلَمَّا أَتَاهَا نُودِيَ يَا مُوسَى And when he came to the fire, we called out, Ya Musa. Now, I need you to imagine. You're looking for guidance. You're looking for a bit of fire for your family. You've gone up to this mountain where you see the fire and it says, Ya Musa. Can you imagine what happened to him, right? Okay. Inni ana rabbuka. I am your Rabb. Now look at this first commandment. فَخْلَعْ نَعْلَيْكَ Take your shoes off. First commandment, take your shoes off. إِنَّكَ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوَى You're in a sacred place. What is the first commandment to the Prophet? اقرأ Read, internalize, understand, apply it, teach. What is the first thing to him? Take your shoes off. You're in a sacred place. I get asked this all the time when children come across here. When children from other schools come, they ask me, why do we have to take our shoes off? Now I tell them, we sit here. And when we sit on the floor, we don't want you trampling over our carpets. But there's another thing to it. There's a sacredness to the place about taking your shoes off. Okay. وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ ikhtiyar, I have chosen you. فَاسْتَمِعْ لِمَا يُوحَى So listen, Musa, to what is to be revealed. Okay. Innani ana Allah, I am God, la ilaha illa ana. This is the only place in the Quran where Allah says, La ilaha illa ana. There is no God but I. Ana fa'budni. Attach yourself to me. Wa aqimis salah li dhikri. If you want to remember me, pray salah. I said, it's amazing. Establish salah in your life. And it's probably the most difficult thing to do. Now what do you tell him? Inna sa'ata atiyatun akadu ukhfiha. You are accountable. Because the day of judgment is coming. Litujza kullu nafsin bima tas'a. And everybody will get what they did. So, salah, first it says fa'budni, which was obey me. Then you had salah. Then he was told you are accountable. 3 things. Okay? Now let's see what he says. فَلَا يَسُدَّنَّكَ عَنْهَا مَنْ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهَا وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ فَتَرْدَى If somebody who does not believe in these 3 things, which was attaching themselves to Allah, establishing salah in their life, and their accountability, you will find them following their whims and desires. I'm reading in between the lines. So if you and I follow our whims and desires, it's because these 3 things are missing from our lives. It's not by looking at anybody else, looking at myself first. And then now he's nervous. Can you imagine standing before God? Or a voice that says, Ana, I'm your God. So to calm him down, he says, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى What is in your right hand, O Musa? Which teaches you and me, if you want to make somebody comfortable, ask them something that they already know the answer to. What is your name is an icebreaker. Everybody knows their name. Okay? So that's something you have to ask. So, وَمَا تِلْكَ now it was enough for him to say, Kala, hiya asaya. This is my stick. Is it not enough? What was he asked? What is in your right hand? He's a prophet. He knows this is God. But he's asked, what is it? What is the answer? Hiya asaya. But what does he say? أَتَوَكَّهُ عَلَيْهَا. I lean on it. وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا. Arabic is a beautiful language. Can you look at the word? Ahushu. He says, I hit the bushes so the leaves fall. Do you know the sound that leaves make when they're hit? Shh, like that. Arabic is beautiful. Okay. وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَمِي وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَآرِبُ أُخْرَى. And I have other uses as well. Why is he doing that? Two things. Either you want to prolong a conversation. When you love someone, you say that. Or you're nervous. Have you seen when people are nervous? They just talk. And they don't let you put in an edgeways. A word in edgeways, right? So here it gives you two things. Musa was nervous, but he also wanted to prolong the conversation. When is he going to get to talk to, Kala? Alkiha ya Musa. Musa, throw it. Alkiha. This stick. Do you know what that stick was, by the way? Given to him by Shu'aib, which is originally Prophet Adam's stick. Okay, we'll talk about it when you come to it. So throw it, ya Musa. فَأَلْقَاهَا. So he threw it. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. Now we did these three words for snakes. Hayya is a snake with fangs. Do you know the other one? We did all three. We talked about all three. If I'm not mistaken, we did it at some point somewhere in Sura Araf, right? So you remember Thu'ban. There you go. So do you know what Thu'ban is? What is Thu'ban? Thu'ban is a big snake. And what's the other word? There was Hayya, there was Thu'ban, and there was a third one. Can you tell me what the third one was? Any idea what the third one is? Come on. You got to remember, you should have it all in there. Any idea? And where were they exactly? Okay. One is one that we, in the Gujarati language, and that's what I'm telling you, you won't forget. We say Jan. Here, Jan means something that moves. Okay? Next time you say Jan to someone, be very careful. Thu'ban, large. Hayya, something that is got fangs. Not only is it alive, it will take a life as well. Jan, don't use that anymore, okay? Janu, okay, it's okay. Jan is something that moves. So here now, this stick of his becomes a serpent with fangs, all right? Kala, this voice says, Khudha, pick it up, take it, grab it. وَلَا تَخَفْ, don't be scared. سَنُعِيدُهَا سِيَارَتَهَا الْأُولَى, we will return it to its original thing. Now for a minute, imagine your Musa and that snake thing became a snake, okay? Would you pick it up? What if your mother told you? I will make it better for you. Okay, shows you how much you trust her. Okay. Then he's told her, وَضْمُمْ يَدَكَ إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ. Press your hand under your armpit. Okay? Don't look at this side, it's armpit. تَخَرُجْ بَيْضَاءَ. You will see it white and luminous. مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ. You see, at that time, people who had leprosy had turned white, right? So they said, your hand is going to be white, but it's not going to have any illness on it. Ayatan ukhra, it's another sign. لِنُرِيَكَ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا الْكُبْرَى. So we may show you our greater signs. Can you imagine the joy? Can you imagine a child who's told, put your hand in your armpit and when you come out, it's going to be luminous white. They'll put it in, take it out, put it in. Have you seen them? Forget about child. I would too. Would you not do that? Okay, fine, great. Musa loved this. Now he's told, اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Go to Fir'aun. He has crossed the lines. Does Musa know Fir'aun? Yes, he used to live in that house. He's killed one of Fir'aun's people. His king came to warn him to say, run away, they're going to kill you. Now you imagine the fear in him when he's told, اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. So he says, قال رب اشرح لي صدري. My Rabb. Now, although the translation, I think, I'm looking at the translation. The translation says that are you serious? Expand my breast for me. Give me confidence. You know, at the moment when you're talking about Fir'aun, my heart's going like it's pumping away like nobody's business. So give me confidence so I can focus, وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي, and make it easy for me. I don't have a problem with doing what you tell me to do, but I am scared. وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي, make it easy for me. وَحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي, we're told he had a stutter, he had a stammer. But we're seeing he's nervous, so he's saying, let me not just go off piste, you know, like sometimes when you sit on the mimbar and you see your face and you think, God, I've forgotten everything I wanted to say, okay? Well, here you say, وَحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي. Untie the tongue, a knot in my tongue actually means I don't want to be tongue-tied, which is an English word as well. يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. So he may understand the message that you are giving me to tell him. Now he's still scared because he says, وَجَلِّ وَزِيرًا مِّنْ أَهْلِي. Wizr is a heavy weight. Send me someone who can help me carry this responsibility. And I know who I want. Haruna akhi. Many of the Mufassirin say that Prophet Harun was older than him. So I need my older brother with me. I need somebody to hold my hand. I can't do this on my own. Ushdud bihi azri. So ushdud is strengthen my back with him. I need him for confidence. I need him to come with me. Wa ashrikhu fi amri. So he can be with me as my partner. You know what Sharikatul Hussein is saying that? Zainab. So he's saying, I want a sharik. I want somebody with me. Okay. Kay nusabbiha kathira. And you know what we're going to do? We are going to declare your perfection. If you want strength in anything, when you're feeling a bit weak, then tasbihat arba. Subhanallahi, walhamdulillahi, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, 21 times. Okay. So he's saying, we're going to declare your perfection. وَتَذْكُرَكَ كَثِيرًا, and we're going to remember you a lot. إِنَّكَ كُنْتَ بِنَا بَصِيرًا, because we know that you will be cognizant of us. You will be watching us all the time. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. That's exactly the same thing. Okay. Qala. قَدْ أُوتِيتَ سُؤْلَكَ يَا مُوسَى. We have already granted it. Even before you asked, it was already there. We knew that. We were going to do that for you. And then he says, وَلَكَدْ مَنَنَّا. Now maybe you could highlight the word mananna, and I'll try and give you some words for it, okay? So man can also mean to impose, but man can also mean a really heavy favor. When you do something really big for somebody, it's man. Okay? That's why you say, Ya Hanan, Ya Manan. Okay. So here he's saying, وَلَكَدْ مَنَنَا. And before that, we gave you a really heavy favor. عَلَيْكَ مَرَّةً أُخْرَى. Another time. إِذْ أَوْهَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّكَ مَا يُوحَىٰ. So the first thing we did was, we gave inspiration to your mother. Musa, you would not be here otherwise. Okay? We forgot the focus of this surah. I know it said the story of Musa, but it's also perseverance and trust here. Trust in Allah's plan. Okay, and you'll see it in a minute. Anikdi, we told her, Anikdi fihi fi tabut. Put him in the chest. If you look at other surahs, it says, first nurse him, breastfeed him. But Allah doesn't say this to Musa. He says it to you and me when we're reading the Qur'an. There is a level of respect to his mother that they're not going to say to the child that we told your mother to nurse you. Can you understand how this surah is beautiful? Okay. Anikdi fihi fit tabut. Faqdi fihi min al-yam. Yam is a wide river. And then we said, Faqdi, throw him in the river. Throw that tabut in the river. Fal yulkihi al-yammu. And the river we throw him bisahili onto the shore. So, we told your mother this. We said that's what's going to happen. Ya'khudhu aduwwun li wa aduwwullah. And you know who will find him? My enemy and your enemy. And already Musa is thinking, OMG. Okay. Now, this is the bit that you've got to really, like, you can underline it. If you forget everything about this surah, this is something that you'll have to underline. And this is, if you want somebody to love you, oh God, please be careful who, okay? Because they can go OTT. You don't want that. If you want somebody to really love you, underline this. وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِّنِّي. Allah is saying, وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ. He said, what I did was I made you lovable. I made you lovable. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know, there are some babies that you see that you think, OMG, Winston Churchill screwed up. But the mothers think they're beautiful. I've had 5, I know, okay. However, there's some babies, you just look at them and you go, oh, like that. So Allah makes this to Musa, that whoever sees Musa cannot but fall in love with him. Okay. وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِّنِّي. Can you remember those signs? If you feel somebody's not loving you, I told you, be very careful what you ask for. In Gujarati, they say, palai ruche to munda ho kapse. Be very, very careful, okay? وَلِتُسْنَعَ عَلَىٰ عَيْنِي. Now, tusna'a, sana'a is to manufacture. And we will build you under my eyes. That means Allah says, I will build you under my eyes. It is an amazing sentence. That is the sentence that is your focus. Trust in His plan. You want to be lovable? Do that. Okay. إِذْ تَمْشِي أُخْتُكَ. And then, when your sister, her name was Maryam, when she went, فَتَقُولُ هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَىٰ مَنْ يَغْفُلُهُ. Shall I show you somebody who can look after this child? Remember, mom was told, nurse the child. Baby was then thrown in the river. When Asya finds the child, she takes the child out and she says, Musa. In that language, Mu was water and Sa was reeds. So she found him in the water amongst the reeds. That's why his name is Musa. So she finds him, beautiful child. She falls in love with him straight away. She goes to Fir'aun, who hates the children of Bani Israel, but he falls in love with the child as well. Do you think he just fell in love just like that? He's the guy who murdered and killed kids. He kept 2 soldiers with each midwife, that every time a male child was born, they would be killed, because he saw in his dream that somebody was going to take over from Jerusalem. This guy looks at Musa and goes, how cute. Of course we're going to keep him. How did that happen? Exactly. So you know now how you're going to make yourself lovable, right? Okay, good. Okay, so so now this child is nursed. Asya picks him up, beautiful child, and then he starts crying. So Asya brings all the nursemaids she could find. Remember, she's the queen. But this child doesn't want to know anyone. And then you're so desperate that you see this Maryam and she says, I know somebody who can calm any child down. And فَرَجَعْنَكَ إِلَىٰ أُمِّكَ. We promised your mother that we will bring her back. So we brought him back to his mom. كَيْ تَقَرَّ عَيْنُهَا. And her eyes became قُرَّةَ عَيْن. They cooled down. She was worried about her child. وَلَا تَحْزَنْ. And that she should not be sad because we gave her child back. You doubt anything about Allah, read this, okay? All right. And then Musa, this is what you did. وَقَتَلْتَ نَفْسًا. You killed a man. How did he kill a man? So he used to sneak out to go see Bani Israel because he could see Fir'aun's tyranny from a vantage point. And when he used to sneak out, he saw these 2 fighting. And he threw a mean punch. So he punched the guy who was bullying the Bani Israel. The guy was drunk, fell back, hit his head and died. So Allah is saying, وَقَتَلْتَ نَفْسًا فَنَجَّيْنَاكَ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. But we delivered you from gham. See, ghamama is dark clouds. You can run away from a crime scene. If you did something wrong, you can hide it, but you can't hide from yourself. It's very hard to hide from within. You and I may have done something wrong. Everybody didn't see it. We saw it ourselves, right? And that's the gham that will eat you up. And so Allah is saying, فَنَجَّيْنَاكَ مِنَ gham. That is why you say, La ilaha illa ant subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. Then what you say? فَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ وَكَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. That's why you read it, okay? وَفَتَنَّاكَ فُتُونًا. And it was difficult. Fatana is a test. We really put you through difficult tests. فَلَبِثْتَ سِنِينَ. For quite a few months, quite a few years rather. فِي أَهْلِ مَدْيَنَ. You stayed in Madyan. ثُمَّ جِئْتَ عَلَى قَدْرِ يَا مُوسَى. Now this is another thing. ثُمَّ, then, جِئْتَ, you came, ala qadar, exactly as was planned, ya Musa, to this place. So you had to go through all that to come here. We saw in the story of Yusuf, right? Very often you and I ask, why did I have to go through all this? And he's saying here, exactly at this time you came, Musa. You saw the fire. Your family didn't see it. You asked them to wait. You came up. It was all planned. Okay, it's called Qadr. That is why on Laylatul Qadr, you ask for the right sort of Qadr. Okay. وَاسْتَنَعْتُكَ لِنَفْسِي. I love this ayah. This is one of the most beautiful ayahs of the Quran. I chose you for myself. You're mine, basically. That's what Allah is telling him, right? Idhab, go. Anta wa akhuka, and your brother. Bi'ayati, with my signs, with my communications, and you'll tell him what to say. Wala taniya fi dhikri. But do not forget to remember me. You promised you would remember me. And the reason you would remember me is you'd get strength. The only way you're going to get strength is if you remember me. Idhaba, and he tells both of them. You know Arabic, this is dual. Idhaba ila fir'auna innahu tagha. He has crossed the lines. Now look at what Allah says. Fakula, when you both talk to him, qawlan layyinan. You know, lean or layyin is a date that is really, really soft. So talk to him really softly. But layyin is a bit extra. Layyin means constantly soft. You know, sometimes when you're going to have a conversation with somebody, I don't know about children, or my children were younger, and if they'd done something that wasn't right, like take a simple thing, not clean their room, then by the time 3:30 came when you wanted to pick them up from school, you'd made up your mind that you would tell them really softly. Say, beta, do you know what happened today? I actually stepped into your room, and you start really softly, but then the temperature goes up. Right? That is why Allah says, Qawlan layyina. You will get angry when you see him, but make sure that your conversation is soft, continuously soft. يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. Maybe with that softness, he might remember that I am his creator, and he will have a little bit of fear. You know, when I used to talk to interfaith about Muharram and why we commemorate the 12 days of Muharram, I still remember Pat. Pat died, but I remember Pat Stevens. She didn't say anything else, but she would say, I just hope that God puts in to those who commit injustice a little bit of kindness. For them to be able, and this is exactly what Allah is saying to Fir'aun. Okay. Qala. Now both of them are saying, Rabbana innana nakhafu. We're so scared. An yafruta alayna. Now you've got to look at that word and please underline it. So I'm going to talk about farata, right? Farata means to go overboard or underboard. So in other words, go this way on the limit or this way on the limit. So they're saying we're scared that either he might cut us off completely, like not listen to us at all, or he would just be mean to us and kill us. So either way, he's going to go, he might keep us quiet, not let us speak, or he will kill us. Or he's just going to cross every line possible. We're really scared. Innana nakhafu, we're scared. It also teaches you and me that to be scared is human. Right? Qala, look at what Allah says. La takhafa, don't be scared. Innani ma'akuma, I am with you. Asma'u wa ara, I hear and I see. It's an amazing ayah. It's like you saying that I've got a bodyguard with me all the time. That's why you're told read Ayatul Kursi and you get all these angels hovering around you. Okay, cool. فَأَتِيَاهُ. So go, فَقُولَ, and tell him. Now they're being told what their task is. Tell him, إِنَّ رَسُولَ رَبِّكَ. We are the messengers of your Rabb. فَأَرْسِلْ مَعْنَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. Send with us the Bani Israel. وَلَا تُعَذِّبْهُمْ. Don't punish them, don't torment them, don't do anything to them. قَدْ جِئْنَاكَ. Will come to you. بِآيَةٍ. And look what Allah says. بِآيَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكَ. This is a sign or a communication from your Rabb. وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الْهُدَى. And there is peace for those who will follow the guidance. He doesn't say our Rabb. He says your Rabb, reminding Fir'aun that you are not God, you have a creator, right? Inna kad uhiya ilayna. Tell him that it has been revealed to us that those who will be punished are those who will reject this message from their Rabb. Now, look at what they have to tell Fir'aun, right? He thinks he's God. He thinks he's the highest of people. But they have to tell him that. Gala. So now look at what Fir'aun says. Now imagine this scene. They've come in to see Fir'aun. They are into his palace. They look like two ordinary, they were wearing very coarse clothes. He's in his pomp and glory. Imagine this big place where he's sitting and he's got all his advisors, all his people, all his soldiers there. Can you please imagine this scenario? Okay? Imagine what's happening. He says, فَمَنْ رَبُّكُمَا يَا مُوسَى. Who is your Rabb, O Musa? He's expecting him to say that you are my Rabb. Remember what he did to Asya? Right? We'll go through the whole story. Kala. He says, رَبُّنَا الَّذِي أَعْتَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ. My Rabb. Our Rabb is He who made everyone. ثُمَّ hada. We just did Surah Nahl. وَأَوْهَا إِلَى النَّحْلِ. Remember? We told the bee how to make honey. Okay. الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ مِهَادًا. This Rabb of mine made the earth like a cradle. وَسَلَكَ لَكُمْ فِيهَا سُبُلًا. And there's paths. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. He sends down water. فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِّن نَبَاتٍ شَتَّى. And so many different species of herbs. Can you see the angle he's taking the people towards? This is the Creator. Okay. Now, he says, "Kulu wara'u an'amakum." Eat and feed your animals. Inna fi dhalika la'ayatin li'ulin nuha. This is a sign for people who are really clever. If you tell somebody that if you can add 2 plus 2, you are really clever, that child's going to feel really good. So this is Musa's way of bringing the whole crowd to listen to him, because he says, you will only understand this if you're smart. So now they think we're all smart. And now Fir'aun imagine he's thinking, OMG. This whole crowd is now going towards what Musa is saying. Because Musa continues. He says, Minha khalaqnakum. He created you from it. وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ. And you will go back into it. وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. Exactly what Imam Ali said about the 2 sujood. When he was asked, why do you do 2 sujood? He said 2055. When you go into your sujood, you know you have been created from it, right? When you get up, can you see that? When you that's your life. You go back, and then you're back again. It's your resurrection. Okay, good. So your life, basically, your and my life is astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. That's basically what life's about. Okay. وَلَقَدْ أَرَيْنَاهُ آيَاتِنَا كُلَّهَا. And we showed him our signs, all of them. Which were the signs? The stick becoming the snake and the hand in the... Okay, good. وَأَبَى فَكَذَّبَ وَأَبَى. He belied it. He said, you're a magician. And he denied it. Now he's worried because he sees the crowd is with him. They see the sign. Now he's worried. So he said, قَالَ أَجِئْتَنَا لِتُخْرِجَنَا مِنْ أَرْضِنَا بِسِحْرِكَ يَا مُوسَى. Now he wants the crowd to be on his side. He doesn't Fir'aun always says I, but in this particular sentence, he says we. So he's trying to take his crowd with him, and he said, did you come here to take us out of our land, Ya Musa? Can you see the crowds turning and thinking, oh God, this is magic, right? فَلَنَأْتِيَنَّكَ بِسِحْرِ مِثْلِهِ. So you know what? You think you're a magician? We will bring magic like it. بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَ بيننا وبينك, between us and you, موعدا لا يخلفه نحن ولا أنت مكانا سواء. And you know what? We will make an appointment so our magicians and you can go against each other. Right? So he's trying to convey to the crowd that this is nothing but magic. So we also have in a hadith that tells us that he got together 1,000 magicians, and he made sure all those magicians were from all over, whatever that world was at that time, and they had all practiced. Now what did he say? Kala maw'idukum yawmu zina. And that day when we're going to have this is the day when all the places will be decorated. Zina is decorated. It's like a festival. Wa yahshur an-nasu dhuha. And we will all meet at the time of dhuha. You know what the time of dhuha is, right? It can't be fajr because nobody wakes up. It can't be midday because it's too hot. So it's early morning, right? So, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. Okay. فَتَوَلَّى فِرْعَوْنُ. So Fir'aun now got up, went away, you can imagine, and he's thinking now, how am I get this gate? How is this plan? How am I going to make this plan work? Okay. قَالَ لَهُ مُوسَى. So Musa said to him, وَيْلَكُمْ. Wail is like the bottomest part of Jahannam. So he says, woe be to you. لَا تَقْتُرُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. You can't do this. Do you know what you're doing? He's trying to... Musa has a temper, by the way. You know that we saw in the story of Musa and Khizr, right? Yes? And Khizr had already got his CV, you remember that. So he has a temper. So what are you doing? You know, you're going to be destroyed. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنِ افْتَرَى. You will not get what you want. Well, فَتَنَازَعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ. So now all these magicians, they have to come up with a statement. So they're all getting together, بَيْنَهُمْ وَأَسَرُّوا النَّجْوَى. They're getting together in a secret meeting and they're deciding, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? Because we saw his stick, we saw his hand, and you know, we've got to get together and have a statement. Okay. So they come up with a statement. You know how the government comes up with a statement, right? So they came up with a statement. Qalu in hadhani lasahirani. These are two magicians. Yuridani an yukhrijakum min ardikum. They want to remove you from your land bisihrihima, with their magic. Wa yadhhaba bi tariqatikumul muthla. And they want to take you away. Now this when you say tariqatikumul muthla, it literally means they want to take you away from your exemplary lifestyle. They don't want you to live the way you're living. They want to take you away from your lifestyle. They want to change you. The moment somebody tells you that your life's going to change because mortgage interest is going to go way up if you vote for, I don't know, the Reform Party, you're not going to vote for them. Yeah? That's what human beings do, because they don't want to change the status quo. So these magicians says, these people want to change you. They can change your economy completely, okay? Okay. فَأَجْمِعُوا كَيْدَكُمْ. So now these plans are done. ثُمَّ أَتُوا صَفًّا. They're in rows and rows and rows and rows. وَقَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْيَوْمَ مَنِ اسْتَعْلَى. And the one who will win is the one who has got the highest. Qalu ya Musa. So now this is the festival day. Qalu ya Musa, they say. إِمَّا أَن تُلْكِيَ وَإِمَّا أَن نَكُونَ أَوَّلَ مَنْ أَلْقَى. Will you cast your one little measly staff down, or shall we do the casting? 1 against 1,000. Okay, 1 against 100, whatever you want to say, but definitely a lot more. Kala. He says, well, Alku, you do فَإِذَا حِبَالُهُمْ وَعَصِيُّهُمْ يُخَيَّلُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ سِحْرِهِمْ أَنَّهَا تَسْعَى. And he saw these things moving. So now there's Musa. He's already been to one stage where he throws his stick and it becomes a... Now he sees these things moving, so many of them. They're like worms. So, فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ. Now see, inside his nafs, خِيفَةٌ. He was scared. Musa, he was so scared. Kulna, we told him, لا تخف إنك أنت الأعلى. Don't be scared. You will be uppermost. He was still scared. وَأَلْكِي مَا فِي يَمِينِكَ. And just throw what is in your right hand, Musa. تَلْقَفْ مَا صَنَعُوا. It will eat. Not only eat. Now, talqaf is not just eat. It swiftly devour with ease and quickness. Have you seen a snake? You've seen them. Go to these programs you have on TV, these documentaries. The snake waits. But once it has its eyes on what it wants to eat, it's so quick, it's like lightning. So this thing, talqaf ma sana'u, what they made, innama sana'u kaidu sahir, because what they had manufactured was only magic. Wala yuflihu sahiru haythu ata, and magic can never be successful. Okay, that's why they tell you, when somebody does funky things to you, then it's temporal. You know, when you say somebody did najjar on me, and I don't know, somebody did magic on me. Hello, Ayatul Kursi, 4 calls, it's all temporal. فَأُلْكِيَ السَّحَرَةُ سُجَّدًا. Immediately the magicians went into a sajda. Now who was listening? That whole crowd. There were people from the town, there was Fir'aun, there were his soldiers, there were his advisors. But the only people who went to sajda is magicians. Why? Because they knew what magic they had done. Nobody else knew. They knew the magic. And they knew this cannot be magic. So immediately they said, قَالُوا آمَنَّا بِرَبِّ هَارُونَ وَمُوسَى. They were the only ones who understood that this cannot be anything but divine. Everybody else thought everything is magic. Because they knew the truth, right? Kala, and Fir'aun said, آمَنْتَهُمْ قَبْلَ أَنْ آذَنَ لَكُمْ. How could you believe in these two? I didn't give you permission. إِنَّهُ لَكَبِيرُكُمْ. He is your head. الَّذِي أَلَّمَكُمْ سِحْرًا. He's the one who taught you magic. فَلُقَطِّئَنَّ أَيْدِيَكُمْ. I will cut your hands. وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ مِنْ خِلَافٍ. So right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg. I'm going to cut them off. وَلُصَلِّبَنَّكُمْ فِي خُضُوءِ النَّخْلِ. And I will nail you to the palm trees. وَلَتَعْلَمُنَّ أَيُّنَا أَشَدُّ عَذَابًا وَأَبْقَى. And you know what? You're going to find what punishment is really all about. Let's stop here because you've got ziyarah going on downstairs. We will finish, and those of you who didn't get stickers, we'll get you some stickers next week. We'll finish, inshallah, Sura Taahaa next week. And I will go through the story of Prophet Musa. All I'd like you to leave you with is every time Prophet Musa was stuck, he would either recite a salawat or he would say, Allahumma inni as'aluka bihaqqi Muhammad wa Ali wa Fatima wa Hassan wa Hussein. And I will talk about it when I go over it later. Can we have a Surah Al-Fatiha, please? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So we will continue with ayah 72 inshallah next week. Okay, read it up please. Read through the Taahaa. It has a phenomenal, it's just something else. And if you want to be loved, you know the ayah, right? Great. Stick a big heart on there.